Okay guys, so we're going to quickly watch this trailer and I'm going to talk you through how we can identify the genre. So as we start off there, the visuals could be that it is a romantic comedy or something a bit more light-hearted. It's actually the audio codes that are telling us there's something maybe to be concerned about here. So that kind of that high-pitched whirring and then the out of breath and her facial expression tell us there's something a bit more to think about. Then it draws us in, it says, listen closely. Now, if we just pause it here, what we've actually got is we've got forests, we've got an abandoned derelict bridge, and we've got what looks like a gravestone. So we've almost got some really iconic settings for a horror genre. It tells us to move carefully. And again, we've got abandoned farms and forest. Lots of horror tropes there. What it does now is it says never make a sound, and it's drawing us in. There's no audio, there's no talking, and the music's very quiet. Now listen to the music, it will probably start to get lower and lower and lower. Okay, we're just coming up to a minute, and this is the first warning that if you haven't picked up on those subtle clues that it's a horror genre, this is your first sort of visual clue that if you don't like horror, you should probably stop watching now. Abandoned farms. Now what it does is it gives you a way out. So if you're feeling quite stressed out or anxious, it makes you feel safe. So it says if they can't hear you, they can't get you, and it will probably show us a nice visual as well to make us feel relaxed. So family life. You're not hearing anything. Okay, so obviously I'm pausing it. It doesn't quite have the same effect, but that's happened 1 minute 20 in, and so the music went quiet. They gave you a way out. They said if they can't hear you, they can't hunt you, and they showed us a happy scene of family life, and it's the first time we've seen anyone smile. All of that was to build you up to the jump scare, and that is classic horror conventions. So we've had a jump scare, we've got abandoned places, forests, gravestones, abandoned buildings, and we've got eerie music. So we've got all those conventions of a horror. And now from this point on, it's probably going to get quite intense. Okay, so with all of those, the pace went faster. We had a lot of sort of loud noises happening, and it was quite scary. Classic tropes of horror. If I just go back to that bit though and play it without the sound, it's nowhere near as scary. I mean, effectively, he turns on a light and then they're just sort of running a bit. Unusual camera angles, lots of fast pace, all of that sort of stuff is there. So it's really the sounds accompanied with the visuals that are telling us that this is scary. Okay, so that's it. That's my analysis of a horror trailer. And you can sort of see the things I've picked up on are unusual camera angles, abandoned places, settings, forests with gravestones, typical characters and typical props that you'd expect to see. Okay, so there we go, a horror convention.